Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for joining me in Pootles Advent Countdown. 25 projects coming out to you, 5 a week for 5 weeks. We're into week 2 and it's the time has come round to make a wreath. Now I make a wreath every Advent Countdown. Normally I do it later on in the series. However, I've bumped it up because if you've been anywhere on social media, you will have seen this visual doing the rounds. This is not my photograph, it's not my project. We've got a sale on at the moment, so it's buy 3 DSPs, designer series papers from the annual catalogue, and you can choose a 4th for free. And Stampin' Up has provided us with samples and ideas, and this one is showcasing the Sia Silhouette DSP, which is all those beautiful colours there, which I've got here for you. So it's all of these, so hence how they've got the rainbow out of it. But loads of people have said, how did you make it, Sam? I didn't. It's not mine. It is made using the seasonal layers dies. Can you see those? Have I got a bit too close? It's using the top 2. I'm holding this with 2 hands to get it close to the camera, but it's the top left 2. That's what's created this. But I was totally inspired by it. I thought it was absolutely stunning and beautiful. Like I say, I make a wreath every year from my Advent Countdown series. So I thought I'll use some dies and make some as well. So mine is part built. I'm going to do a little bit more under here, but I've got all sorts of colours going on. Mine's just a plain wicker wreath. I've got a silver one around, but I think the cats have chased it and they've knocked it behind my paper racks. But I've got Seaside Spray here. This one under here is Mint Macaron. I've got Coastal Cabana, that's here. And then I've got the blue foil from the Peacock Suite and some silver foil. And what I've used to create my snowflakes, and I will hold it up, is I've left some of them sort of semi-intact inside, and that's for gluing purposes. But I used the Christmas Layers dies. Oh, let's get them all out. And do you know what? I made this the other day, and I came to get it ready for filming, and I went, oh, I can't find it. Where is it in the catalogue? You would be forgiven if you lost it. See, I'm not going to be able to find it again now. It's tucked away in the top left-hand corner. Seriously, I missed, what's it called? Christmas Layers. Oh, I don't remember what the stamp set's called. Here we go, page 17. It's there. You'd miss it if you didn't see it, because you wouldn't think a die set would go with words. It's there, and you might have lost your eyes on the incredible Delicata inks, which everybody heard me go somewhat crazy and excited over. But those are the ones I've used. So I'm just going to do a couple more layers. With this kind of wreath, you can just keep building it up. You can build it up and build it up and build it up as much as you want. Which I think is fabulous, that, you know, you can add as many layers as you want. You can do a part wreath, a full wreath, you can do, you know, whatever you want. But I'm die cutting more. I didn't finish it, so I could show you the finished look, but I'm die cutting some more to show you how I got them stuck down. And would you believe it, I used mini glue dots to stick it down. Partly because I don't want the same wreath every year and I want to be able to recreate or create a new version. I'm just going to run this through again. But also so that, you know, if I make an error and I don't like the finished result, I haven't hot glued it down. Right, let me get that out of the way. So that's popped out nicely. This one I hope is going to. There we go. Let's move those out of the way. And this one. Where's my brush? Oh, there it is. So I'm just going to use my die brush. This is the die brush attachment for the Take Your Pick tool. Love it. Okay, scooch those out of the way. So there are some obvious bits to pop out on this one, and I think that's all of them. This one this particular shape, I put it on the back of my hand, there's quite a large section there that you can put a glue dot under, and there's one there you can put a glue dot under. And that's kind of why I didn't want to use hot glue, because that's blobby, it's stringy, you can see it, and I didn't want to do that. Now with this one, you can see I've got a very empty space there, and all of these snowflakes will remove to leave the same empty space, which made it a case of how am I going to stick it down. So if I bring this one back in, you can see I've left some of the cardstock intact there, and it means that it's stuck down but you can't see the glue, and I've kept that as sort of behind, you know, I've put the more detailed lacy ones over the top, and you can see this one, I've got it glued here, it's sitting quite happily on the top but the glue's there. So I wanted to show you those tips, and see if I can brush these out quickly. I probably can't. I'll do what I can quickly, because, you know, your time's precious too, and I want you immediately to get your wreaths out and start creating and making. I absolutely love my job. It's the best thing in the world. Crafting, chatting to people all over the world, and I love it, and I never want to change it. So there you go. So what I've done, I've left 3 in the middle intact, but all the other ones outside. And although they are die cut through, I would have to poke quite hard to get them out, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to wreck it, but it means that I've got something I can glue in place now. So, oh, there's my glue dots. I couldn't find them in the last video. Found them now. Glue dots on there. These things are pretty good. With enough, I reckon I could stick my children to the ceiling with them. I'm sure I could. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that in a couple of places. There you go, that's around there. And then this one, as I said before, I've got a couple of places. Oh, I can hear it. It's on the other side of the room. I'm not going anywhere. Alarm reminder on my phone, and it's on the other side of the room. Always useful. Does anybody else run their life by alarms? I have alarms to remind me of all sorts. Get out of bed, that's kind of normal. Collect your children from school, perhaps not quite as normal, but yeah, I've got lots of alarms for all sorts. Okay, and so that, when I pop that in place, starts building it up. All I've done is I've added some ribbon. I've kept it loose so I can change the position, so I might like it a bit more like that, a bit more like that. And you just keep building up, and you can build it around as much as you want or as little as you want. I'm getting text messages. Guess my phone's disconnected. But I love it. I hope you do too. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Don't forget, buy 3 DSPs from the annual catalogue, get a 4th one for free. Bye.